Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 22 rebuild, and on March 8th in the afternoon around 12 o'clock for me, Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos. Huge deal for the Broncos, but for the Broncos, if you see my coach name, unfortunately, Broncos fans, I know it worked with Matthew Stafford. That probably encouraged the Broncos to do that. But keep in mind, your team is significantly injury prone. Great offensive line talent here. Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy are both amazing route runners, but they can't stay healthy. So the Broncos need to target a receiver in free agency because they can't do it in the draft because they gave up 2 first-rounders this year's and next year's. Then they gave up 2 second-rounders this year's and next year's. And they gave up a 5th-rounder, I believe, as well. They also gave up Drew Lock. They gave up Shelby Harris, and they gave up Noah Fant, their first-round pick, Noah Fant. So they're basically giving up 3 first-round picks because Noah Fant's pretty cheap. So Russell Wilson, it can happen. You can win the Super Bowl. I don't know if it'll be this year, but you can win the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson in this Broncos team. I believe that. It's just the problem is you're so up and down about your coaching staff. You need a new owner of the Broncos. Antonio Brown is literally looking into buying the Broncos. And yeah, it's just ridiculous what's happening right now with the Broncos. I mean, I just can't see you as a deep playoff team, Broncos fans, just because of the injuries. If you can stay healthy, I can see you making it to the conference championship. I don't see this as a Super Bowl winning team, though. I know that Javonte Williams will probably go off next season and be ridiculous, but I'm going to hold off from praising him right now. I mean, I love him out of UNC, but yeah, it's just you can't expect this team to be ridiculous in the next season. I expected the Rams to be solid. Then as soon as I saw the Rams pick up Odell Beckham and Von Miller, I knew that was a Super Bowl team. So hopefully you can do that in free agency. If you get another receiver one in free agency or another receiver that can be consistent as basically Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick, I think he had some injuries too. Also, was it KJ Hamler or was it was something Hamilton got released today by the Broncos. Who's Hamilton? Where is he? Hinton. I don't know if EA already updated it, but I know it was a receiver. I'm pretty sure. I feel really stupid for not knowing his name. It wasn't Hamler. It was a receiver named Hamilton. Hugan, Spencer Williams. I guess I'm just really stupid. I guess I'll just leave it the way it is. It really doesn't matter. So apart from that, guys, this is the overlook of the team for the offense. And yeah, I already showed you that. I already gave my opinions on it. Defensively, I brought Von Miller back because Von Miller has already excited himself with the idea of coming back to the Broncos. And he was wondering if he was going to get his number back. So I did give him his number back. That is cool. Bradley Chubb, Von Miller back. Draymond Jones is pretty solid. Patrick Surtain, I love this guy. He's so good. Such a good first-round pick. Kind of want to move him back to strong safety because we need a strong safety. But, yeah, I think I moved this guy back to strong safety last time. I did, and I'm going to do it again. 6'1", 200 pounds. Probably just going to be the best thing that we got because Bryce Callahan isn't bad. It's just he's not amazing for his age and stuff. I'm going to start him just because he has the higher overall, and we could be a year one team. Got Kenny Young here. I think I may want to. I'm not going to move that to the outside, actually. Justin Simmons should be superstar. Patrick Surtain is great. Ronald Darby. Draymond Jones, can you play? Nah, you're too light. For the 281 is too light. Go to Javonte Williams. Melvin Gordon, I believe they are going to let hit free agency. So I believe he's going, I don't really want to cut him. I'll just let him hit free agency in this simulation if I can. Or, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let him hit free agency. I'm pretty sure his go-to team was probably going to be the Buccaneers. So that's where I'm going to place him. He's going to hit free agency, so I'm just going to give a 7th-round pick for this. I'm not actually going to try and trade it. Melvin Gordon is going to hit free agency. I think he's going to go to the Buccaneers, so that's where I'm going to put him. And then who else did I want? There's another person going to hit free agency, I believe. I believe Bryce Callahan will, but they might pick him up on a cheaper deal. Why am I blanking on this so hard? There is another. Oh, yeah. Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if this is his final year. If it is, I'll just let him hit free agency. It is his final year, so I am just going to let him hit free agency because that's what's going to happen in real life. I don't think the Broncos will obviously re-sign him. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it's time to move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 6-1, top the division, very highly contested division with Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers. Insane draft class. I'm not going to load in the realistic draft class because all the orders are changed constantly and EA just doesn't update their game. So we're going to go to players ready to negotiate here. And we have Bryce Callahan. I'm going to get him in free agency for a lot cheaper. Kareem Jackson, no. Alexander Johnson, no. Kyle Fuller, no. Teddy B, already said I'm going to let him hit free agency. Teddy B hitting free agency. That rhymes. Everyone else here is just a no. So apart from that, guys, it is now time to move in to the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, making the playoffs, finishing 12-5 as the Chiefs steal the division from us in Week 18. Oh, that's upsetting. So we're going to be the 5th seed here to face the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though we are clearly the better team as they are 9-8. Stats and awards here. Let's see what we got. Russell Wilson was amazing. Almost had an MVP year. What is he? Not even. He's at 9th. Yeah, not believable. 14th best offense in the league defensively. We are 4th. Nice. 4,800 yards, 41 TDs, 13 interceptions. Javonte Williams, 10 TDs, 3.7 per carry, 761 yards. Very bad year, honestly. But technically, he's a rookie in Madden, and we are also in a passing game, so I'm not going to blame him. Jerry Jeudy, 1,200 yards, 8 TDs. Cortland Sutton, 11 TDs, 1,100 yards. That should be a dev up. And I might give it to Jerry Jeudy, too, because 97 receptions and 1,200 yards. Very good. Albert Aguanikam, I believe is how you pronounce it, should get star dev. That's very good. Nice way to replace Noah Fant. Alexander Johnson, 123 tackles for a loss, 15 for Bradley Chubb, sacks, 15 for Bradley Chubb, and 11 for Von Miller. Bradley Chubb should get a superstar dev with 15 and 15 interceptions, 4 for Patrick Surtain, and 3 for Josie Jewell. And looking into it, safety, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Patrick Surtain, 1 for Justin Simmons, and 1 for Bryce Callahan. Patrick Surtain should get a development upgrade as well. You should probably get X Factor after that kind of a season. So let's see if we will be a first-round exit, if Madden predicts it, like I said before. Will they be a first-round exit? They will. So Madden has predicted what I have predicted. They will be a first-round exit, most likely not to the Jaguars, but they will be next year, according to Madden. But anyways, let's move to the offseason. And the Browns beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. Myles Garrett wins Super Bowl MVP. And there are no awards here for the Denver Broncos, unfortunately. Now, looking into the team, if I can actually go to the team and EA won't just swing me around everywhere. Let's see what we got. Offensively, Russell Wilson is still an X Factor. Javonte Williams, 84 overall. Cortland Sutton gets the upgrade, not Jerry Jeudy. That's fine with me. Albert is his name. Not calling him anything else. Our O-line is young. It just needs to develop. Highest overall is 85, which isn't really the best. Defensively, Bradley Chubb does get a development upgrade. That's exactly what I wanted. Patrick Surtain, I believe, already started with Superstar, but I'm not going to worry about that. And Malik Reed, I believe it is. Yeah, I'm not going to re-sign him. He probably won't even make it to an 80 overall. So even though he does have a dev, I'm not going to re-sign him. Let's move to the re-sign players here to see who we have to re-sign. Alexander Johnson and Malik Reed will walk, as I said before. So even though they do have their star devs, they will regress. That's just unfortunate. So 2021 retirements. Let's see who we have for the AFC West. Yep, neither Russell Wilson or Von Miller retired. If Russell Wilson retires, we're screwed. That's just how it is. Von Miller, didn't even know his contract was here. Spaced that out, upped the money for him quite a bit. And excited to stay with the team. I upped the money a lot because usually they just reject. Bryce Callahan's still an 86 overall. I might want to keep that, but I'm not going to. Teddy Bridgewater going to hit free agency. Malik Walker, no. No Malik Reed, no. So free agency, let's see what we got here, boys. $34 million to spend. Let's get into it. Here we are after free agency signings. Got Bryce Callahan on a super cheap deal, way cheaper than what he wanted in the first place. Also got Akeem Hicks on a super cheap deal, working on that interior defensive line because our defensive rushing game, not like pass rush, but in terms of running, is 21st in the league. Our offensive rushing game is 32nd because we're in a passing scheme. But let's get to the draft. In the third round, I'm picking up Andrew Jennings, left outside linebacker, because I don't have a first or second round pick for 2 years. I saw block shedding as a B and zone coverage as C, so I thought, why not? Here we are after the draft and the offseason. Offensively, we don't look any different. Defensively, Jennings is a 65 overall. Yikes. He was a third round pick. So defensively, we got Akeem Hicks, Bryce Callahan back from free agency, and then we lost 2 solid linebackers. So yikes, I guess, but it is what it is. I guess our D-line has improved, so that's a good thing. Some of these guys, it's time to move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Chiefs, as we are 3-3, third in the division behind the 6-1 Raiders and 5-2 Chiefs. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs this season. Very highly contested division. It's just really hard to maneuver in this division with how much competition there is. Bradley Chubb, superstar dev, of course I want him back. He resigns. Dalton Reisner, I do want back because he is a great offensive lineman here. 82 overall, star dev, he resigns. Draymond Jones. That's actually really cheap, so I only do it because of that. You're a solid player, but I don't necessarily need you, but I'm going to keep you just in case. Jacoby Brissett, 69 overall behind us. That's cool. So it's time to move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a blowout win against the Buccaneers, as we are 13-4, steal the division from the Raiders and the Chiefs. Wow, I'm sure they made it into the playoffs because they had great records. First seed, Chiefs barely slip in with 7th seed, and Chargers get 5th seed. Can't believe someone's slipping in to the 7th seed with 11-6 record. Just highly contested division. Our offensive rushing game is 21st, but apart from that, number 1 in points per game, number 1 in passing offense, number 1 in defense points allowed, and number 6 in a defensive passing game, and number 2 in defensive rushing game. Wow, Akeem Hicks really ramped up our rushing defense here. Let's see what we got. Russell Wilson had to have an MVP season there. He is, oh, come on. That's an MVP season. How is he not top 3? 5,200 yards and 42 passing yards, top 10 QBR, best offense in the NFL, and second best defense. 5,200 yards, 42 TDs, 16 interceptions is what did it. That's why. Javonte Williams, 14 TDs, 4.2 per carry, 1,100 yards. Amazing comeback from last season. The 4.2 average is huge. Jerry Jeudy, 1,300 yards, 6 TDs. Tim Patrick, 8 TDs, 1,000 yards. Cortland Sutton, 1,000 yards and 6 TDs. Albert gets 11 touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy should definitely get superstar dev for this kind of a season. And then looking into defensively, Baron Browning, 115 tackles, tackles for a loss, 23 for Von Miller, sacks 28 for Von Miller, crushing the all-time record, which is 22.5. Bradley Chubb, 11.5 sacks, interceptions, 8 for Patrick Surtain. That has to be the most interceptions I've ever seen in any Madden simulation. That should be X factor. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns. Wow, not even 1 out of those 8 interceptions? That's surprising for Patrick Surtain. Let's see who we're going to be facing in the divisional round. Now we can't be a first-round exit. I mean, technically it's not the first round, but we can still lose. Yeah, the Chiefs, 11-6. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost here. The Chiefs are a very good team. Wow, 28-20 here to face the 13-4 Raiders. We can never catch a break from our division rivals who are stealing our divisions. Just a constant fight back and forth. Let's get into this game. Here we are against the Las Vegas Raiders, as it is 0-0, obviously 7-0 as they score on their opening drive, 10-0 right now, highly contested division, 13-0, 13-7. Let's see what we got. 13-13, the comeback, 16-13, 16-20. Let's go. Just one more touchdown for us. Come on, 23-20, 26-23. That's probably going to do it. No, we come back. Yes, the final drive. We score 30-29, barely slipping by the Raiders as Derek Carr is not going to make it to the Super Bowl, but Russell Wilson will go back to his 3rd Super Bowl of his career. And here we are to face the 13-4 Carolina Panthers. Oh my gosh, I love Sam Darnold. He's just such a god in simulation. No, it's really just Christian McCaffrey carrying it since injuries are off. He's really unstoppable. What is it? Brenton Mitchell, 1st round pick for him, is a god. Yeah, pick 16, Pro Bowl appearance. And I think that's Rookie of the Year I just saw. And in 1 year. Offensive, Jesus, dude. Crushed the records. Amazing for him. Wow, Panthers really got a roll going. Panthers and Broncos are like one of the 2 teams, well, the 2 teams that are just a quarterback away from Super Bowl, and that's proven here as Javonte Williams doesn't get a dub up. Jerry Jeudy had back-to-back over 1,200 yard seasons and had 8 touchdowns the season before and 6 in this one. He's getting superstar dev. I don't see any other way around that. He has superstar dev now. We're going to give it to him. Javonte Williams, after a 4.2 average season with that many touchdowns and little reps in a passing offense, like, he should get superstar, but I'm not going to give it to him. If he gets consistently above a 4.1 average, then I'll give it to him. Akeem Hicks, still the same dev. Patrick Surtain gets superstar dev. That's no surprise to me. Jennings is 72 overall now. Browning, I wish he got a development upgrade, but he's a solid piece for right now. Looking into it, let's get into the Super Bowl against the Carolina Panthers, as this is already a successful rebuild. Here we are against the Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl. And yeah, last time we played, it was Super Bowl 50. Hopefully their QB remembers not to jump on the ball. 24-14, very close game. It's 31-17 at half, very good game. 31-24, 31-31. What a comeback by the Panthers. 34-31, 38-34, 45-34. They're probably going to put a dagger in it, and they do. The Panthers get their revenge with a new QB, as we are going to lose it with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson loses another Super Bowl and chokes it again. I'm sure they didn't run it on the 1-yard line with Javonte Williams. That is very upsetting, but it's still considered a successful rebuild. We had a way better game. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Just the defense. Even though we had the 4th best defense in the league, they allowed 45 points, which is unacceptable. Here we are after the Super Bowl, as Christian McCaffrey wins Super Bowl MVP and Von Miller wins Defensive Player of the Year. So that's fine. I'm going to skip to the re-signed players because I already saw the development upgrades for the team. And yeah, we're going to need a linebacker probably, and that's literally about it. My middle linebacker isn't that bad, and outside linebacker would be nice. $34 million to spend in free agency. I feel like that's solid, but we have a lot of players to sign. So I'm going to get into free agency. If you see me skip to the draft, it means I didn't do anything in free agency. Now, in the 3rd round, I'm picking up Brandon Toll, strong safety. Probably going to move him to outside linebacker. Doesn't look amazing. Here we are after the draft and the offseason. Don't really look any different from the offseason or the draft. Johnson, Locke. It looks like my strong safety Toll sucks. It's because he's not even on here. Williams, I'm going to move up because he's just young. Got all that. Cool. Specialist. Browning, Stearns. I don't like any of those guys starting, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to change it. Draymond Jones, 2nd string behind Akeem Hicks and Von Miller. Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler. Cool. I like what we got. Let's get into the 3rd season, even though it's already a successful rebuild. Here we are at the midseason mark, as we are 6-0, top of the division above the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Raiders. Chargers and the Raiders seem to be having a rough time, but we have some players ready to negotiate here. Who do we have? Russell Wilson. I expected this. That's why I kind of held back from spending a lot of my money. So let's see if he resigns with that, and he does. Jerry Jeudy, I'd love to resign as well, of course. Up the money on him. He should get a 5th-year option, but I'm not going to even bother with it. Albert, super cheap deal for you for being an 81 overall without the boost. My 79 overall center, of course, I want you back as well. Up the money, and he resigns. Matai, I do want as well, of course. I moved him from left guard to right tackle to complete my O-line. Michael, I do want you. Oh my gosh, that's a cheap deal. He resigns. Ronald Darby. No. Ooh, that's actually stupid cheap. Oh my goodness. Yes, please. I will spread out the contract to make it even cheaper. KJ Hamler. I'm gonna trade him. While I have value on him, I'm gonna trade him. Again, let's give him a 4th. Does that work? Almost there. So a 4th, a 6, and KJ Hamler, I believe, is what I want for the 2nd round pick from the Eagles. Even though I do get my 1st and 2nd round picks in this upcoming draft, sure, why not just get something out of KJ Hamler while we have him. Taylor Heineke's our backup. We don't need to worry about that. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, as we're actually making the playoffs, finishing 14-3, taking the division, but not getting a 1st round bye. How did the Jaguars, they went from 9-8 to stealing a 1st seed? How did they go like 15-2? Here to face the 9-8 Tennessee Titans. Stats and awards here. Let's see what we got. Russell Wilson, MVP, Russell Wilson. Let's go. 6th best offense in the NFL. Defensively, 15th. And 5,000 yards, 42 TDs, 7 interceptions. Javonte Williams, 12 TDs. 10 TDs for Sean Vickers. It looks like a rookie. 4.3 per carry, 6.67 isn't a good amount of yards. Why did Vickers have more rushing attempts than Javonte? Javonte Williams had 50 less rushing attempts, more yards, a way better average, and more touchdowns. That's sad. That's very irritating that Rashawn Vickers is getting more touches. Jerry Jeudy, 1,500 yards, 16 TDs. That's an X factor right there. Cortland Sutton, 3 TDs, 1,100 yards. I would say X factor, but 3 TDs is just not impressive. Tim Patrick, 9 TDs, 1,000 yards. That should be superstar, but I'm not going to give it to him. Albert, I'm going to give superstar because if you didn't know, tight ends cannot automatically go from star to superstar unless you forcefully make them. They can go from star to X Factor or normal to star, but they can't go from star to superstar unless you forcefully do it. It's a glitch in Madden. I'm going to make Albert superstar. He's consistently put up good numbers. Looking into the defensive side, Baron Browning, not very good. Patrick Surtain, 95. Yeah, just not very good tackles. 16 tackles for a loss for Bradley Chubb, 8.5 sacks. Von Miller, 22.5. Tying the old record. His new record, though, broke that. Draymond Jones with 10 sacks. He's a rotational guy. Wow. Okay. Bradley Chubb's only 8.5. Interceptions, 4 for Bryce Callahan. Safeties is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to see if we can beat the 9-8 Tennessee Titans to move on to the divisional round. And we don't. 24-17. We're just a first-round exit team. We always have to get the first-round bye. So let's move to the offseason. And the Packers beat the Jaguars in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers wins Super Bowl MVP. Russell Wilson wins League MVP. Urban Meyer wins Coach of the Year. Okay. Russell Wilson wins Offensive Player of the Year. So that's pretty cool. Now let's see the team to see if there is any development upgrade. Jerry Jeudy should have an X Factor. That was an X Factor season. He does get X Factor. That's awesome to see. Tim Patrick should get... Tim Patrick was very consistent. Let me look at his stats to see if he does deserve superstar. 1,000, at least 77, 82. Yeah, no, star's fitting. That's fine. And then I already expressed how I'm going to change him to superstar. I would have changed Javonte Williams to superstar if he had like 1,200 yards, but he got his reps stolen for no reason. Albert is going to go to superstar. He was very consistent throughout the entire rebuild, especially with touchdowns. Why is Vickers isn't even starting at the third down back spot? He isn't even starting on my main lineup. Why did he get more reps? That makes no sense, and the loading screen is stuck on my screen. Defensively, Akeem Hicks has regressed significantly, but that's fine. Jennings is still not good. Patrick Surtain, Ronald Darby, Bryce Callahan got superstar dev. That's pretty useful. We're going to go into the re-sign players here. I'm going to need to try and target a defensive tackle in the draft or maybe free agency or something if I do have the money to re-sign them. How much money do we have? We have $42 million, so that's definitely doable. What are we going to get here? Glasgow, I should have traded him to start with because I know his contract was high. He didn't even start the entire rebuild, so it's upsetting that I didn't do that. Also didn't do that with Macy. So finally their contracts are gone. Let's get to free agency. And our first big free agency of the episode, AJ Terrell, Kyle Duggar, who I'm probably going to move to outside linebacker, Johnny Hecker, Javon Hargrave, and Young Wei Koo, which is awesome to see with this team. So I'm sure we're going to end up building this God Squad, and EA Simulation is going to be like, nah, this team sucks, and just completely removes it. So we're going to move Kyle Duggar, we're going to move this guy to left outside linebacker. 6'1", 200 pounds, he should be there. We've been moving him around quite a bit. Actually, let's move him to right outside linebacker because that's the weakest part of the defense here. So defensively, looking into it, 77 overall, not bad. It's fine with me. So we're going to be moving into the draft, and since I don't have a lot of money, I can't really make trades, so I'm just going to hope my draft picks are good. In the first round, I'm picking up a middle linebacker, J.P. Adams, hidden development, 89 speed. He's going to be pretty solid overall. In the second round, I'm picking up left outside linebacker, Jake Longwell, hidden development. This is what happens whenever I can actually, have my draft picks. I draft good players. Here we are after the draft and after the offseason. Very good offense. Basically been with us the entire time. Longwell is 71 overall. Going to start him over Jennings. Same with Adams. Rookies just perform well in simulation. Defense looks stacked out of its mind. Specialist. I don't want that. Why am I blanking on this? Roster, NFL depth chart. Let's go here. And I want my rookie middle linebacker to start as sub linebacker. Browning, Simmons, Kyle Duggar, Jake. God, bro. Why is he so far down? Let's switch you guys. Let's switch Browning. And what's the left out? Jake Longwell. 68 overall. I'm going to start him over Browning still. Let's do all that. Jake Longwell, yeah. Usually rookies do good. So this is the fourth and final look of the team, and now it's time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are at the offseason, not the offseason, the freaking playoffs, as the Chiefs take the division at 14-3 as we are 11-6, coming off a loss to the Chiefs. Chiefs have the second seed. We have the fifth seed here to face the Jaguars, kind of like in year one. Hopefully we don't get another first-round exit. Stats and awards, Russell Wilson, another great year, but 28 touchdowns only, not even top 10 because of it. Danny Dimes is 10th for MVP. Passing touchdowns, 28. Second best offense in the NFL, 10th best defense. 5,100 yards, 28 TDs, 15 receptions. Not a good ratio, but nice completion percentage. Javonte Williams, 19 TDs, but 3.9 per carry is not that good. Javonte Williams, 1,000 yards as well. So, yeah, that's cool, I guess. Jerry Jeudy, 1,700 yards, 127 receptions, 13 TDs. Probably a top 2 receiver in the NFL in simulation. Cortland Sutton, 5 TDs, 1,000 yards. Tim Patrick, 1,000 yards, 4 TDs. And Albert only had a big down year compared to all of his other years. Probably his worst season yet after giving him that superstar dev. Looking into it defensively, J.P. Adams, 118 tackles. That's what I was talking about. Did way better than Browning. Tackles for a loss, 15 for Von Miller. Sacks, 26 for Von Miller, 20 for Bradley Chubb, 6 for Javon Hargrave, 4 for Akeem Hicks. J.P. Adams, 25. Longwell, 1. Kyle Duggar, 1. Draymond Jones, 1. Where is he? No way. Freaking... Wow. I guess I passed him, but it looks like Draymond Jones. Yeah, Draymond Jones only 1 sack, 0 tackles for a loss. What a terrible year, even though he's rotational. Patrick Surtain at 5 interceptions. J.P. Adams 2. J.P. Adams, I wish I got this guy in year 1. Safety, 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So let's see if we will be a first-round exit again and see if we can beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in the wild card round to move on to the divisional round. And we do. 14-3 here to face we beat them 34-20 here to face the 14-3 Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see if we can move on to the conference championship, and we don't. 28-10, unfortunate loss. Still a successful rebuild because we did make it to the Super Bowl. You don't have to win it, you just have to make it to it. So anyways, guys, apart from that, 99 overall Jerry Jeudy, 92 Russell Wilson, 93 Jamal Williams. Very good team. Very happy with what I built. Longwell is a star dev. Adams is a star dev. Really wish I had better linebackers in the early going, but I had to give up all of my first round picks to the Seahawks, really. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.